In part one, we dealt with a book on parental alienation called Brainwashing Children by John T. Steinbeck. Now, this series is all about books focusing on things like parental alienation, toxic parents, and narcissistic fictional book characters. So, what book came next? I'm Glad My Mom Died by Jennette McCurdy, and it's a memoir. Now, this is the epitome of a toxic, narcissistic mother and the devastating effects a parent like this has on a child and the eventual adult the child becomes. So what is this book about? Now, this book is a heartbreaking and hilarious memoir by iCarly and Sam and Cat star Jennette McCurdy. It's all about her struggles as a former child actor, including things like having eating disorders, addiction, and a complicated relationship with her overbearing mother, and how she retook control of her life. Jennette McCurdy was just 6 years old when she had her very first acting audition. Her mother's dream was for her daughter to become a star, and Jennette would do anything, and I do mean anything, to make her mother happy. So she went along with what mom called calorie restriction. So basically eating very little and then weighing herself up to 5 times a day. She endured extensive at-home makeovers while her mother chided things like, your eyelashes are invisible, okay? You think Dakota Fanning doesn't tint hers? She was even showered by her mum until the age of 16, while having to share her diaries, her email, and all of the money she made from her acting. That's horrible, man. Horrible. In I'm Glad My Mom Died, Jennette recounts all this in unflinching detail, just as she chronicles what happened when the dream finally comes true. Now, she was cast in a new Nickelodeon series called iCarly, and she was literally thrust into fame and stardom. Though mum is ecstatic, she's emailing fan club moderators and getting on first-name basis with the paparazzi. Jennette is riddled with anxiety, shame, and severe self-loathing, which manifests itself into eating disorders, addiction, and a series of unhealthy relationships. And these issues only got worse when soon after taking the lead in the iCarly spin-off, Sam and Cat, which also starred Ariana Grande, her mother then dies of cancer. Now, finally, after discovering therapy and quitting acting, Jennette embarks on a recovery and decides for the first time in her life what she really wants. Now, this book was told with some really cool dark humor, and it was refreshingly honest, okay? I'm Glad My Mom Died is an inspiring story of resilience, independence, and the joy of shampooing your own hair. Now, this book damn near broke me, okay? The psychological damage her mother did to her is heartbreaking, okay? Now, I knew iCarly intimately, thanks to my daughter. I know what was happening to her behind the scenes in what should have been her safe space. It's too much for this mama to bear, okay? Children are not paychecks. Children are not tools for you to live the life you think you should have had through. It's cruel, it's sadistic, and there is a special place in hell for people that treat their kids this way. Now, we've talked about how parental alienation is a common problem with toxic parents. So what are some of the signs you need to watch out for in a toxic co-parenting situation? Because they crop up a lot. And a lot of people don't realize that it is toxic. Now, firstly, they don't put the child's best interests first. Instead, they seem driven by what's in it for them or how they can use the situation to hurt the other parent. Gross. They gaslight you. A toxic co-parent tries to psychologically manipulate you into believing you are unreasonable or have done something wrong when in fact, they are the ones creating most, if not all, of the problems. Sometimes this results in you questioning your sanity. Been there. They refuse to follow a schedule A toxic co-parent often attempts to change the schedule to get more time with your child or ensure that you get less. Alternatively, they may not show up when they are supposed to or may arrive late, resulting in significant inconvenience to the other parent. Yeah, they've got blatant disregard for your time. They have complete disregard for whatever the parenting order or agreement says for visitation. Some may even try to schedule family vacations during your time and tell the children about them. They put your kids in the middle. Instead of communicating with you directly, and this happens too, a toxic co-parent asks your child to be the intermediary and communicator. No, get an app. Get an app, you big baby. They may also talk to your child about your parenting relationship. This can take lots of forms, okay? Including criticizing your parenting or trying to get the child to take a more adult role in this. And that's just not fair. They're kids. Come on. They talk negatively to your child about you. That one is the grossest of all of them. The goal of a toxic co-parent is to turn your child against you, creating emotional distance between you and your child. And sometimes this manifests as full-blown parental alienation, particularly if your co-parent is a skilled manipulator or they work in the court system, social services, police, that kind of thing. They give themselves this heightened sense of, I can do no wrong because I'm in the inner circle. They try to control what happens during your parenting time. A toxic co-parent often insists you implement rules or schedules that you do not believe to be in your child's best interest. They follow up with criticisms of how you parent or what you do with your child. They are hostile and abusive. A toxic co-parent frequently starts arguments, calls you names, treats you rudely, and does everything they can to show you how negatively they feel about you. And that's fine, but this is between A grown-up and B grown-up. C kids out of it. You know what I mean? They are manipulative. Very manipulative. A toxic co-parent may try to manipulate you to get what they want. They also may manipulate your child to get them to turn against you. And that's basically where we were talking about parental alienation. Now, manipulation can be psychological, emotional, financial, social, and spiritual. So it's important to stay really alert when it comes to this kind of stuff. Now, there are self-help books to help you navigate this, okay? If you're going through something like this, like maybe you didn't even know until you saw this video. So be prepared. There is some help out there, okay? So you can get Co-Parenting with a Toxic Ex by Amy Baker and Paul Fine. That book is phenomenal. Co-Parenting with a Toxic Ex by Tiffany Austin. I really enjoyed that one. That one's full of sticky dabs. Parallel Parenting, The Only Way to Co-Parent with a Narcissist by Wendy Carter. I've heard good things about it. I haven't read it yet. Parenting Together Apart for the Residential Parent by Brette, Sember. Okay. Parenting Together Apart for the Non-Residential Parent. Now, I don't know much about either of these books, but a psychologist actually recommended them, okay? Parenting with a Narcissistic Ex by Harmony Fielding. Now, that one was very good. I actually listened to the audiobook of that one. So don't give up. You can free yourself and your child. Now, if you're in Canada, you can go to parentalalienation.canada.org. They have some wonderful information on how to navigate the court system and resources to help guide you from there. Now, you'd think this would be a no-brainer. Like, you keep what goes on between adults, and you keep the kids out of it. But there are parents out there that can't do that. And I'm really hoping that you can get enough information from my videos that I can put you on the right path to healing and rebuilding some bridges between you and your kid. If you're having problems with a toxic ex, or maybe you're having problems connecting with your child and you don't know why, let me know in the comments. Let's have a chat.